What you're seeing here is nothing short of miraculous. And don't worry, I know that I'm talking over it, but I'll be showing plenty of the music in this video. I'm making this video just a few days after the terrorist organization Hamas invaded Israel and committed unspeakable atrocities. I can't even bring myself to describe what they did in a public forum, but chances are, if you're watching this, you already know. And if you're here to leave a comment that starts with what about or but, then maybe just take this opportunity to leave and find yourself another video. While I found very few sources of personal comfort during this time outside of my own family and community, I did find this. This is Prelude for Peace. It's a collaboration of Christian, Muslim, and Jewish, Israeli, and Palestinian musicians. It was created by Doron Kima, the man that you can see in this video playing piano. Doron is Israeli, but he went to graduate school in the United States, which is where I met him. Doron and I probably haven't spoken in over a decade, but when the news broke out, I decided that I wanted to use my channel at this time to offer some kind of message of hope through music wherever I could find it. And this is one of the places where it was. So I reached out to Doron for an interview. Doron.
Wow.
Been a long time.
Wow, long time. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so sorry for everything going on, but is everyone okay over there?
Yeah.
Doron Kima, we went to school together many, many years ago. We haven't spoken in a long time, and I'm glad to hear that you and your family are well. And are you in central Israel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm in Givatayim. It's next from Tel Aviv, very nearby actually. And thanks God we are fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, Doron, I'm really interested in, asking you about Prelude for Peace. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Sure. Prelude for Peace is a project that actually is very close to my heart because I studied classical music, right? And you know this, of course. And I studied also jazz music, and my parents came from Baghdad, Iraq. They were born in Baghdad, Iraq, and then they immigrated to Israel in 51 in the big immigration from Iraq. So I was exposed to Arabic music since I'm a child. Now, I never really paid attention to it. I never really studied it or something like this. I went to do classical music, studied composition, studied jazz and all this kind of stuff. But I never really paid attention to this Arabic music around. And it came actually later when we were at FSU. Actually, I took there a course, the music history of the Middle East. And then the lecturer, Ben Cohen, started to talk about Makam theory and all the different scales of the Arabic music. And then everything was familiar to me. And then I started to think about, hey, well, it's something that it's not like thinking more than something that came out of me. You know what I mean? It's not that I started to think, oh, maybe I should write something like this that combines everything that I know. No, it's something that came from the inside just to explore my creativity. And then I started to write for ney. Ney, it's an Arabic flute.
Flute, right?
It's an
played
Arabic
with the nose, right?
Yeah. Well, some of them you have different systems. You have the Persian system, you have the Turkish system, and you have the Arabic systems. For me, the sound of the ney and the sound of the oud, it's like you have those quarter tones, but not really quarter, It's not like a specific quarter tone that you can say it's like like 25% or something like this.
Yeah.
It can be 19, it can be 15, it can be 10. It's almost it's not really in tune, you know, and all those elements within the music, um, for me, I can pick it up from my childhood. So it has a strong impact on me. So I started to include all those kind of elements, and I had a lot of challenges, of course.
I think that this is
So
really interesting. I mean, when you're talking about this music that was so familiar to you, because, I think that there's, as you know, so many misconceptions about Israel. And of course, I'm not Israeli, but people see things like they see Israelis eating falafel and they think that, they have, without knowing what they're talking about, they say that's cultural appropriation. But the fact is, people don't realize that a lot of Israel is surprisingly, I think, to most people, it's way more diverse than most people would think. There are, first of all, it's less Jewish than the United States is Christian. And there are, I don't know, what, 50% of Jews are Mizrahi or Sephardic. Like, so they're from, very recently, they're from the Arab world. I'm guessing your family was it, I don't know how to say it. Is it the Farhud, when Iraqi were
right,
basically,
right.
I don't know what to compare it to, like a genocidal thing where they had to leave.
Yeah.
And then to say to someone who is, who for generations has been part of what today is Iraq, although Iraq hasn't existed for that long, really. But for someone who's lived there for so many years, and to say the food you're eating is cultural appropriation, or the music that you're thinking of as cultural appropriation, it doesn't make any sense, because that's actually from your culture as just as much as anyone else.
Right,
from
right,
Iraq.
right. I think that this is the fascinating thing. Now I think that we live in a world, and the society, at least here in Israel, but I think that like everywhere, they accept new things in terms of art, in terms of art. For example, all those different sounds, can you imagine, like, for example, 20, 30 years ago, someone would do something like this? It's kind of, I mean, I'm sure that people did it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but now the quantity of this kind of fusion, or like, I don't know how to call it, even, like, it's so, I think it's so fascinating, because you're basically getting like exposed to many different cultures, many different sounds. And I remember that the first piece that I wrote for this ensemble was, I took the E minor Chopin Prelude,
Oh yeah, sure.
So I took Chopin's Prelude, and it's like 24 measures. I don't know, like it's really short,
Sure, yeah, but it's slow.
And you played it, of course, yeah. So I took it, and I made out of it like 5 minutes or something like this. this was the first piece that I wrote for this ensemble, and from this moment on, it went a little bit smoother. And I mean, I found my way, like how to create in this world where you have like the Western world and the Arabic world, and like also like jazz sounds that, you know, I used to that I'm also playing jazz, and like to bring all those together in some kind of a cohesive, clear way. It's a project that calls for interaction, for communication with Jews, with Muslims, with Christians, and that's why it was important for me. It was important for me when I collected all the musicians. It was really important for me to have Muslim musicians in the ensemble and Christian musicians in the ensemble and Jewish musicians in the ensemble, and to create some kind of harmony. You watch TV and you see all those sides, but when you sit, all of you in one room, you create something together. It doesn't matter if you play or talk or you do something together. Like in our case, we played and we ate, we made dinner and we ate together, and you know, I think it's beyond words. The output of this project. I mean, it's not that now it's peace. You know, I mean, it's this is not the point, but you know, but to create something that you to contribute in your way, you know, with something that you really can contribute and maybe influence one guy, you know, it's a lot.
Well, I think that's also one of the special things about music is you can communicate without words. And right. I imagine that if you just had all those people in a room together and you want to start a conversation, you're going to have a lot more opportunities for argument than, you know, than what's going to happen if you're all playing instruments and making music together.
Yeah, yeah. I must say that, you know, like the whole journey wasn't so easy. because one of the pieces on the album, I took the national anthem of Israel and the national anthem of Palestine.
Hmm. I can see why this was not going to be easy, but yeah.
I had many problems, because composing it was one thing, but you need to have players to play it. And you need to have players that are feel comfortable to do it, that feel comfortable to play the Israeli national anthem and to play the Palestinian national anthem.
So what did you have to do? Do you have to convince people? Like, do you have to twist their arm a little bit to get them to play this music?
Look, I mean, I remember it was like I sent it to the players, and I remember it was like a Saturday, and we did like lunch here at home with the kids, and then I had like phones coming in. Look, Doron, it's beautiful. It's really amazing, and the idea is crazy. The idea is crazy, but I must say that I don't feel comfortable to do it.
Do you think people
Now,
because they truly didn't feel comfortable, or because of how other people would view them playing it?
Okay, this is a good question. I think it's both. Because some of the musicians told me, look, I have many Arabic musicians friends. And it's funny, because me too, I have many Arabic musician friends, but I don't see it as an act that puts it down or something like this, but the other way around, I see it something that raises above all those kind of like everyday life and all those kind of like relationship between Jews and like Arabs. I see it as something beyond this, something that communicates and like integrates people together.
I have one last question, other than, I'll also want to ask where we can listen to this music. But, you've kind of built this community with people from different backgrounds, religiously, ethnically, and musically. What happens now? Like, everything is so surprising. This is all, I'm talking to you on, I think, like day 3 or 4 of this new situation that we're in. Are you still speaking to people? Do you know where they are? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, now the situation is very painful. The situation is kind of lost control. It's just, that crazy feeling that, that you live inside of kind of a dream. I think for everyone. I think for everyone. And I think that, it's not everyone lose, in war, everyone lose. You don't really have winners, you don't really have winners. It's a difficult situation, like all those sites that we see on TV, like all those sites that we saw what happened on Saturday. It's painful.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to take. It's hard to take. Look, I mean, I'm I'm sure that like everyone is hoping now to finish this thing and to leave it behind and to continue further, to do things together. Because I think that the Middle East is an amazing place, and it can be a great place. To go to visit and see, and it's a pity that we see all those sites now everywhere, in the north, in the south. It's very hard. It's very hard feeling. It's very hard feeling.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that you're okay, at least physically, you and your family, and
I appreciate it.
About you and your family, and wishing for the best and for all of this to end soon.
I appreciate it.
Doron, can you tell us where we can listen to this music?
Sure. You can listen to it on Spotify if you write Doron Kima. So you have it. You have everything over there. You can listen to it in all the streaming platforms, of course, and Apple's and whatever it is. You can go to my website, of course, and listen to it on doronkima.com, www.doronkima.com. Also on my YouTube channel, of course, you can listen to it. You have everything on my YouTube channel. Everything is Doron Kima. If you type Doron Kima, so you can find there the national anthem thing. You can find them there, the Chopin thing. You can find also the Ennio Morricone.
Oh, which movie?
Yeah, which one do you think?
Paradiso?
Exactly.
Really?
So
thank you again for taking the time. I know it's very, very late for you, and I appreciate you making some time out of your schedule to do this. And I know, we had here during lockdowns, teaching on Zoom and having the kids stuck at home was hard, but what you're talking about, a whole other, I have a lot of respect for raising a family under these circumstances, and I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.